Welcome to Zoom In on a Fresh Conversation. I'm your host, Donna Gray Banks, and thank you for being here on a Monday night all over again. Today, our special guest is John Baxter. He is an entrepreneur, public speaker, filmmaker, and author. Tonight, we will talk about many facets of Mr. Baxter's life, his books, his filmmaking, and his career. John, welcome to Zoom In on a Fresh Conversation. Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you for allowing me and inviting me in.
Zoom In on a Fresh Conversation is sponsored by Eyeless Diamonds LLC, the Fresh Book Festival, which will be held in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach, 23, 24, 25, February 2023. I hope to see you all there. It's going to be an exciting 12th year. Please come join us. Registration opens at midnight tonight for the book festival. If you have any questions for John, please leave them in the chat room. This conversation is being recorded. And John, please take a moment to introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, I am John Baxter. I'm hailing in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I like to read, I like to write. I am born and raised here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina as well.
So John, you've written several books. There's some things we want to know. So why you decided to start writing? How do you write? Chapters, scenes, how does that all come together? And where do you write?
Okay, how did I decide to start writing? When I got into my store, my business, the pandemic came. I didn't want to give up. I prayed a couple of prayers and God just gave me some words and I just started putting it on paper. And from there, my first book, Mental Imprisonment, aroused. How do I write?
How do you write?
Okay. I write with pen and paper. Hold on, no. How to write, that might be awkward, but
no, it's okay.
I honestly, I write from my heart. I write about my own life experiences. So I don't try to, budge on nobody else's life, what is positive or negative.
So you do write from pen to paper?
Yes.
And then to computer. We have a very good friend, Keith Kareem Williams, who still writes, and he's in his Mama Tony, probably 22nd book.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. And so
24 is dropping next week sometime.
Right. Yeah. 24th book, and he also writes from pen to paper to computer. So you're not you're not a dinosaur. It's just the way people write. And so where do you write?
A lot of it's peaceful for me to sit in my store, in my establishment, and write. After prayer, I keep the door open, but it's peaceful for me to write right here in the store.
Why? Because it's yours and it's something that you have accomplished, or you find a peace there?
With everything you said, yes, because it's mine, and I find peace here. And on top of that, being that the store is mine, that when I put the words on paper, it's also mine. So yes, it's peaceful.
So we're going to talk about Fat Girl Love, but we want to go through some of your other novels first. First one would be, let's discuss From One Side to the Other. It depicts your journey from being a drug dealer to prison, and then knocking down the walls to become an author, talk show host, etc. Why do you think telling this side of your story was important?
Well, it's very important telling this side of my story because like right where I am today in my hometown, there's a lot of people that stagnant. They don't believe that they can move forward. They can move forward or further in life. So for me to let people know that in telling my story that you can move forward is ideal for me.
John, did you write From One Side to the Other while you were in behind the gated community?
No, I actually wrote it inside my store.
You wrote that inside your store once you were out of your gated community. The question on tap is, when did you publish your first book? That's a question in the chat room.
In the month of January of 2021.
2021?
Yes.
So you've written all these books since 2020?
I almost completed 2 movies. It's like I pray to God for something and he's giving it to me. I don't want to be lacking. I just want to get the work done. I don't let nobody get in my way and stop.
Lord, I feel like a slacker right now.
Yes.
So John, the other one are poems. And now you're telling me that you wrote all these things outside of...
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Excuse me. I wrote poems from inside on the inside. I published it on the outside of last year.
So how is it that you found the inspiration to write poetry while you were incarcerated? I mean.
Okay, I found the inspiration. Some things may be easier for others, while some may be difficult. For me, when I started writing this, my mother was on her way of passing away. And I was just like, I didn't care about gambling, fighting, TV. Every day for 100 days, I'll get up after my prayer, either I'm gonna write in the morning or late in the evening or at night or in the noon. But God just made it, he just made it like available for me to sit and write with no distractions. Nobody never bothered me. I'm not saying I was a bully or I ran the prison system, but I would sit at that table and I would just say my prayers and the words would just come.
When you were writing the poetry, what is it centered around?
It's centered around, it's tough to say this, but to me, it's centered around, I would use this word, abandonment.
Abandonment. Do you want to read one of those for us, or?
Yeah, I mean, I will. For me, when you locked up and your outside world, you would like the help from them, and sometimes you can't get it. You just feel abandoned. But that's why I didn't want to use that word. But I just know it's around all loving and caring.
You don't feel inclusive. I mean, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard for people from the outside to make you feel inclusive of what's going on. Right? Exactly.
It's kind of hard. Yeah.
It is. It is.
I would start off with, I would read this one since this what came. And this poem is called Who I Am. Now, I like to write straight, forward, brief, frank. I don't like to write 500, 300,000. I write when I try to send it straight to your mind and your heart. So this poem is titled Who I Am. Who I am a creation of God, a handsome young man. Sometimes life get hard, but I do understand. Through this journey, nothing comes easy. Who I am, a man not sleazy. I am determined. I possess given strength. Being the best I can be, I go to any length. Who am I? A man with ambition and great desire. My life hopes and dreams, I would not conspire. I smile to weigh off trouble. Who am I? A man not living in a bubble. I am destined to go far and live big. I concur. With prayer, this dream will not be a defer. Who am I? I'm loving, caring, and respectful, also polite. All I ask for is a peaceful night. Who am I?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get a peaceful night.
Yes, because you have so many things that you think about while you're in there, or why, certain phone calls not answered, or, why the things that you ask for sometimes is not given. But like I was so thankful I'm glad God opened to that, because a lot of people, they don't know who they are.
Right.
And when you start praying, and then when you start realizing who you are as a person, you don't take no for answers. You don't give up. You make your road as easy as God would allow you to make it.
Our last author also had, and I don't know how that happened, that you both were behind gated communities. It just happened that way, that it fell that way. But we asked her what was a premier lesson that was learned through the process? Do you want to tell us what you believe your lesson learned was?
For me, what I believe my lesson learned while I was incarcerated, I honestly want to say the lesson I learned while I was incarcerated was to think positive, like a positive mental attitude, and not be easily persuaded by the snares of the world. And that's just the devil part. What got me incarcerated, I know this is not a question, but I was a drug dealer, you know, and coming from a big family, I'm thinking like, yo, do this, you'll be okay, when all in all, as I pray, I should have just went on the job and worked. But I'm past it now, I'm happy. And what I learned while I was in there is to come out here and whatever work I do, finish it. Don't be a quitter, don't give up.
So thank you for sending me Fat Girl Love. I enjoyed it. Let me just say one thing. I'm at a certain age, right?
Okay.
The print has got to be a little bigger. So if you got...
I get that a lot, but being that I'm a self-publisher, and then like I did all this in 1 year, so I'm still in my learning process.
No, right, exactly. But please, we enjoy your work, but yeah, it just took me a minute because it was kind of small. But I enjoyed the book. But a little larger print next time when the second edition would be nice. So
yes, ma'am.
Let's talk about Fat Girl Love. I really enjoyed it. As you said on the back cover, it is dedicated to all beautiful women that know the power of self-confidence and self-respect. Is this a personal story, and how was it that religion... I mean, listen, come on now. How is it that religion was so intricately woven throughout the book?
Well, I would say it's personal, and it's to open up doors to people. How religion, I know for a fact, it's kind of heartwarming. My mother, man, she had so many prayers for me. And I just want to get my life right. So this book, it's kind of
just take a moment. It's good.
For my mother, everything I do. Excuse me.
That's all right. Your mother is not with us anymore?
No, man. No, man.
Yeah. Okay. So the story is good, right? You wrote it well. Your mother is, I'm sure, very proud of you. But tell me about the woman that you refer to in this book.
Okay, before I broke down, like this book, like my mother, she was a fluffy woman. And,
I like that, fluffy. Let me take that from you. I'm going to use it.
Nobody likes like your mama fat. Nobody like those fat jokes. So, and just like I love her, man. She's strong, and I met a woman that went to Winston State when I was like 21, and I didn't give her my real name, and I didn't get her real name. I got incarcerated. We lost contact. So that's why I say it's kind of personal, but it's personal and it's like fiction, nonfiction. Like I was like thought about my mom, I thought about her, and what you were saying towards the back of the book. Like I just love for women to love themselves. I don't call women bees. I don't do a bunch of cussing. I don't like disrespecting women, And I always tell women to love yourself, because you have to love yourself. And how I got the God in it, it's like I was saying before I broke down, my mother, she always prayed for her children to be a better person. And I hate that it took me to do 12 years in prison to receive this, but I'm thankful because I know what God is going to take me, like the things that I'm doing, I couldn't even like ponder or even imagine before I got incarcerated, And sorry for the It's
No,
tears
don't
of joy.
listen. We're here for you. You kidding me?
Okay.
You don't know where we've been. We just ain't telling right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is your story. And so when I read the book, I really was saddened by the way that a lot of women feel about themselves. So now that and this is not one of the questions that I ask you, but I'm going to ask it to you now. Do you get women that come into your establishment that you have to kind of mentor and talk to about where their journey is?
Yes, not only in my store, but just around, you know what I'm saying, my daily life period. I tell my secretary, my assistant, I tell people, period, like friends and people I know what it's like, what they use that word for, an associate. I let people know, like, man, God don't make nothing ugly, because a lot of women, they talk about their belly, or they like to wear, in the mornings, if I call someone, they're like, oh, you can't see me, I'm not made up. And I like to tell people, I'm a man. I'm never made up, but I'm who I am when you see me. So, yeah. I mean, I know everybody think different, but I'm like, love yourself. You have to love yourself. You don't need something to make you up for the world to see you, because I want to see you in night and day. Yeah. Meaning that I know you don't need a wig, you don't need makeup, you don't need eyelashes. Be you. That's what's going to make you a winner in this world, being you.
Well, we need more men like you to say that out loud, right? I mean, really, I do have a friend I'll say, you know, I'm in curlers. And he said, okay. Yeah. So what? Turn on the camera. It's not like I've never seen you in curlers before, right? But a lot of men are not forward thinking enough to tell a woman, you can come as you are.
Come as you are.
Come as you are. Come like you're getting out the shower, you know. I don't need all the extra. I need you to be a woman who's a part of my life, right? So when you talk to your gentleman friends, please tell them to change the dialogue for us. Yeah, I do. Because we do that for you guys. We don't do it for us. We do it for you, right? And so the different dialogue would be nice. Anyway, it's the Fat Girl Love by John Baxter. It is a phenomenal book. Please go out and get yourself a copy. You can get it on Amazon. And thank you for my autographed copy. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, I did. I really did. It was a great book. So let's discuss your soon-to-be published book, 12-Vision?
No.
Is that it?
12-Vision.
12-Vision. Okay.
Right.
That's all right. When is it going to be released? And give us a brief snippet about the book.
Okay. You can now 12-Vision. How can you find 12-Vision? You can now find it on Amazon, on Amazon.com. It's book form right now. It's not audible yet. If you're in Winston-Salem, you can also get it from my store. And it's called 12-Vision. How I came up with that word after doing 12 years in prayer, losing both of my parents, I started elevating. So I just combined to me. So it's just me, like 12-8. So I always remember, and like 12 is a good number. So that's why everything I do is 12-Vision, like trusting up in the Lord.
So just give us something about, I know, is it about your history? Is it about your background? What's it about?
Well, it is. It's a 12-step book.
It's 12-step book.
Yes, ma'am. It's about my history. It's about things that I went through. And basically, not so much what I went through, it's about overcoming. It's a book to let you know you can overcome. You don't have to stay stuck in tragic moments or tragedy.
Or tragic what?
Tragic moments. Or
tragic moments.
For me, I was incarcerated. Some people, they'll get out and they go back to the same thing. So, but for me, it's like overcoming. So I give you 12 steps of what I use to overcome. Like good, strong, energized words, what I use to like move forward in life.
So it's a workbook. It's a self-help
guide.
right?
Yes.
To have,
Inspiration. Yes.
okay,
I would take
okay,
that.
okay, to elevate your
To
circumstance.
twelevate, yeah. To
Yeah,
elevate, yeah.
yeah, to elevate your circumstance, no matter what.
Right.
Right? Amazing. Since 2021. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of slacky right now. So,
well,
okay.
I mean, I was just writing.
Listen, you're good. You're good. But now I think I really have to sit down and think. Now, if somebody can write like 7 books in 3 years, you got to do better. Okay, the title of the next book is intriguing. Tell us about mental imprisonment / fixing shattered glass.
Okay. Mental imprisonment, fixing shattered glass. See this right here?
Mm-hmm.
This the glass. It's fixed. It's full. Once you start putting dirt, oil, and all that, mental imprisonment. People telling me you bad, you're a product of your environment. So I went through that. I said earlier that you don't have to be stagnant. You don't have to think that that's all you know is selling drugs. I'm not in prison to that. So in Fixing Shattered Glass, it's about just fixing myself, making myself better. And that's also an inspirational book, a self-help book. I like to write inspiration.
You got it? Let's see it.
Also, this is my very first book. So in the back of this book, I want to show you this. I think I can get to it. This right here, it says to listening ears. I don't know if you can see it. You guys
yeah,
can
we can see it.
Mm-hmm. But I wrote a letter called To Listening Ears. I also have a slogan, each one lead one, because we was already taught. And for me, it's like I write to people that want to listen, but I pray to help the people that don't want to listen so you can see what I'm doing and what God is doing for me. So that's kind of my next book, To Listening Ears, probably, or maybe not.
That's a good title, To Listening Ears. That's a ear hustling, whatever you want to call it. Make sure people listen, right?
Well, that got me in the newspaper. That letter got me in the Chronicle newspaper here in Winston-Salem.
Is your variety store in the neighborhood that you grew up in?
No, ma'am. It's on a different side of town.
Good. So tell me how you decided to be an entrepreneur of that status coming out of prison. What was it that said you could do that?
Well, how I decided, actually, it wasn't where I wanted to go. When I was locked up, I was taking classes, what you would call these financial classes, these small business classes, and I wanted to do a restaurant. And I wanted to name it after my mother, Juanita's. But here again, I also had to give the glory to God because I started selling snacks, riding around to 2 different neighborhoods and on my job. Then I went to flea market on the side of town where I grew up at. But God moved me on a different side of town, and it's a variety store. I started off with shades and things. It was like, you never know what God has for you.
You don't.
Just gotta stay prayed up and stay walking the line because he ain't gonna steer us wrong.
And so it's a brick and mortar, is that correct?
Excuse me?
It's a brick and mortar store. It's not in a trailer, it's a building.
It's a building inside of a mall.
Inside of a mall. And you're open how many days a week?
Every day. It's hard. It's not hard. I endure. For me, if I take a day off, I'm afraid that, and I'm just being honest. I really just want to be, I'm going to be honest.
Yes.
I just believe I'm so stuck on an idle mind. If I'm not here and I'm out there, that means I'm going to be riding around. I'm going to be going places because I ain't going to sit in the house all day. And I don't want to take money out the bank to let the devil steer me back over in that direction. So I'm glad. I'd rather sit here every day until it's time to go.
Well, that's any of us. If you leave the house, you're going to spend money. So if you don't leave your establishment, what do you say, John?
I don't care about the spending money, but I just don't want to get back into that selling drug life. And being that I'm 46, But the way things is now, we hang around each other, old friends, you know, and you know, you're in the city. And I'm a loner. I like to be by myself, but I also like to enjoy the company of people. You know, so I just don't want to get to a position to where, you know, my mind say
A man is judged by the company that he keeps. Right?
Excuse me?
A man is sometimes judged by the company that he keeps.
Yes, very.
Right. So, I mean, I think that's certainly wise of you to stay out of that situation.
Yeah.
So then you said, oh, I don't have anything better to do. I'm going to write a screenplay and then do a premiere and write a movie. Scared the shit out of them. So,
I would say, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So tell us about, is that, did I say it wrong?
I would say scared the shh.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah, but that's what they're going to say. Yeah.
It's my show. I can say what I want. But
sure.
So, talk about the film process. I mean, here you are, your books are written. Then you decide, okay, listen, I just need to take this gift, because that's what it is. It's a gift, yes. Right? And your gifts from God will make a way for you. Right?
Yes.
They will. Tell us about that process.
Okay, about getting to the filming. My first movie I wrote was actually Fat Girl Love, screenplay, how you want to call it. I went somewhere to pitch it. It wasn't a no. It was like, we're not working with independent film writers. So on my way back from wherever I came from, and I drove. So on my way back, I'm praying like, God, I don't want to give up. You know, I came for this. I did my first movie with my phone. I did the first movie with my phone. The premiere was a good turnout. I asked people, do they want to step out on faith? And you know, they was like, yeah. And it was like the will of God. And we got it done in like 2 months. Got the whole movie done, a good 45, 44-minute movie. I was allowed to play in the movie theater. So with that.
You did it on your iPhone?
Yes. I did it on my phone. And I had God line me up with some great editors from the college. And we got it done. And my store is here. It's a movie theater right there. They got it done. All the glory is to God. Like everything, he just gave me all this, and I'm just doing the footwork. He's walking with me, and I'm doing it.
So, John, you have this screenplay, and you just walked up to people that you knew and said, "Can you play this part?" I mean,
yeah, I was really? Like, would you be interested? And if I told them, I was like this. Now, I did some extra when I moved to Wilmington, North Carolina, in a series. I think it was Ichabod Creed.
Okay.
It was on Fox. So I was like, well, when I was getting paid, I was telling them, I was like, yo, I'm not a big time movie producer, but I can pay you by the hour. That's what you want, $10 an hour. So they was like, nah, I'll step out on faith with you. And so, you know, we all came together and we got the film done. And to me and to them, it was a success. You know, we packed up the movie theater, you know.
So can we see it on YouTube now or what?
Not yet. You know what? I was gonna put it on Amazon, but I think I'm gonna put my first movie on YouTube. So yes, you will see it on Amazon, YouTube. And once I finish with this second film, which I'm done with, I'm gonna think about putting it up on YouTube. And
you need some copyrights and all that done. You know, make sure all that's straight before you put it out there, right? Your copyright, your screenplay, all that. So make sure you get a good lawyer before you put it up for the world.
I'm just beginning.
Yeah, before you put it up for the World Wide Web, right? Because what people will do is splice from it and use it somewhere else, right? And you don't want that. You want your content to be your content all the time. So yeah, do a little due diligence before you shake hands with YouTube, because, you know, once it's out there, it's What people are, that's the World Wide Web. That's what www stands for, right?
Yeah,
So it doesn't just stay in your neighborhood, right? It goes to China. It goes to Sri Lanka, right? And so you want some kind of backstops so that it remains your content.
Right, indeed.
So the next movie is about?
Scared the out of them too.
Oh, what was the first? Oh, two.
Okay. Oh, no, like TOO. I have a whole new cast for this. That's why I continue to give glory to God, because he had something for me. I just need to be more obedient, and that's why I like to stay here. But this second movie that I've just completed is called Scared Out of Them 2, TOO, and like it's a new cast. God blessed me with a camera, so I'm filming in HD now. My next movie gonna be 4K, so I know he had something for me. It's like you staying right. I gotta continue to stay right. But yeah, this cast too. They know me, I know them, and they all stepping out on faith. And we all praying for that door to open for, I already wrote down 5 million and put it in my Bible, so everybody can get paid and everybody's touching and agreeing. So you just want to keep a good attitude with each other, and it's gonna happen.
It only takes one door to open.
One door.
5 may close, but it only takes one to open to make it happen all the time, right?
With all due respect, Miss Donna, that's why I'm putting so much work together.
Yeah.
Like my books, my talk show, the movies. So when that one door open, I can bring all that back out so the world can see it.
Yeah, it's amazing when you have to make a pivot and you think, well, how am I going to do that? And then before you know it, you made the pivot and you're not sure how you did that, because it's God driven. You can't stop it.
Right.
If he's driving the bus, you can't stop it. So you just got to ride. I love that. So what's next?
For me, what's next? I would like to say I'm gonna be working on another movie, another film, and I'm gonna be working on another book. I also, me and a partner of mine, we bought some land, so I'm asking God to give us like a nonprofit building for some of the young guys when they got a school to come and attend when their mom's at work and they can't get in the house, activity bus. So yeah, it's a lot of things that I'm praying for to make things happen, something better, so we don't always go through the bad.
Could I encourage you to start a reading program while you are doing those things?
Oh, well, if I get that building, my book's going to be in there, so we will be doing some reading.
Yeah, reading is so important.
It is. It's
literacy is a legacy, as we all say here on Zoom in on a Fresh Conversation. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us? I mean, you've been so upfront. I certainly appreciate your openness. But is there something else you'd like to tell us?
I would like to say this from my heart. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to the show.
So welcome, yeah.
Next, I would like to tell anybody and all people that's listening, whether you listen days later, if you start something, keep believing in yourself and continue to do it. Don't give up on yourself. Don't quit, because the road get bumpy. If you start it, finish it. I'm sure if God give it to you to start, he's going to allow you to finish it. It's all going to be, if you stop, it's going to be because you, not because God. Because if he gave it to you, you can complete it.
Is that your pearl of wisdom? Have you given it to me too early?
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry, man.
John, it's good. It's good.
Go back to the question, man. Go back to your question. Is there anything I want to share? Yes.
I love the pearl of wisdom, though. It's good. We'll take it now, take it later. Everybody's saying congratulations. You are really using your creative mind brilliantly. So great. Go ahead.
Thank you.
So is there anything else you'd like to share with us? Like where the store is, where
sure.
Speaking engagements, can we hook, can we notify you somehow to come speak at an event, that type of thing?
Okay. Well, I will share this. Again, of course, I'm John Baxter, the Mr. Phenomenon. You can find me on Instagram Mr. Phenomenon 525. I have an email, John Baxter, one word, 44, number 44 at yahoo.com. I'm in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. My store is in the Marketplace Mall here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
I know where that is.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you this. This is I took sociology in school like 3 different times because I love dealing with groups of people, whether it's micro or macro, small or large. With that, people say this is a symbolic world. If I had to agree, I would say this right here. You can find me and I love to speak. So if anybody say, John Baxter, I would love you to come and speak. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm in Florida. I'm in Atlanta. If God provide the way, I'm going and I will speak nothing but from my heart.
So you have a new follower on IG already. So I'm sure after this airs, it will be many, many more. You've already given us your pearl of wisdom. You have another one?
Yes. Hey.
Just do it. Just stay the course.
Right? Stay the course. If you started, stay the course. Don't let nobody deter you. Don't let people because people will try to say.
John, how do we get copies of your book? You can do all that on Amazon?
Okay. Yes, you can get, if you local, like anywhere in North Carolina and you don't want to do Amazon, my books are in my store, John's Variety, but you can get all of my books off Amazon.com.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Any questions for John before we say goodnight? Anyone? You can unmute yourself if you do.
Can we order your books directly from you?
No, ma'am. Well, I would say if I need
stop
to,
right
I'll
there.
mail them to you.
I need you to stop right there. As an author, as a new author, you should have a website where readers and reviewers like me can order our books directly from you.
It's important.
Yes, ma'am, Mama Tony. I'm gonna work on that, Mama Tony.
It's one page. It doesn't have to be a whole lot.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a whole lot. Just one page that says these are the books you have to offer. The book is ABC, whatever the cost is, if there's a shipping cost, and send and send it to them. You need to have a website or something where readers can order directly from you. I say that because if I had one of your books after the day, tomorrow you would be featured on my book of the day. I would be able to tell my people that they can get that book. Don't get me wrong, I buy from Amazon, but I promote independence first. So you would be that independent person that they would go to and get the book directly from you as opposed to going to Amazon. So you need to think about that, okay?
I just thought about it.
I guess I'll go to Amazon since I can't get them from you.
Oh, sorry, Mama Tony. Again, I'm new. I'm fresh in this world.
Listen,
and I understand that, which is why I gave you that thought, something to think about. I'm serious. I'm not picking. I'm not nagging. I'm just giving you something that I know that will help you stay where you want to stay, because you say you don't want to go back over there. You want to stay here. So you got something else that's going to keep you here.
Yes. Yes.
It's always nice to hear that thing go cha-ching. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to work on that.
Little more money. One page is all you need, and a donate button. That's it. I'm not a donate button, but a button that cash, whatever, however they do it. But it's not a really, really big deal. Is your hand up, Mr. Martin? Are you clapping?
No, my hand's up.
Okay. Yes, sir.
A dumb suggestion for Mama Tony and Mr. John. Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
After this little soiree that we're through, why don't y'all just do a 1-to-1 and just ship the book directly to Miss Tony, and then just work on everything later on. That works out, kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Y'all talk afterwards, ask more questions, invasive or otherwise, and ship it to them.
Yeah, I definitely can do that, because I had to mail my book to a lady in Raleigh. No, I mailed my book to Miss Donna. I'm sorry. I definitely can do that. Mama Tony?
Thank you, Martin. And yes, we can do that.
And with that, I bid y'all a good night.
He's also a filmmaker. So You want to kind of keep in touch with everybody.
You keep giving out my government name information. You know.
But we love you. Don't even play.
I'm an international man of leisure.
Listen, you can't get away from me if you wanted to. I don't know how many years it's been, but too bad. So
I still got illnesses.
You're stuck.
Okay.
Anyway, everybody.
I had a question real quick. Just wanted to know, John, what are you doing in the community? So I know that you and your partner, you guys bought some land. You plan on establishing a nonprofit community literacy program and so forth and so on. But present day, you know, what other organizations are you involved with just to kind of get your toe in the water, your name out there, as well as your business name, that have that level of corporate responsibility and giving back, that footprint?
Okay, to answer your question, I'm not involved with no organizations, but I do, and I have school supply giveaways in my old neighborhood, Christmas giveaways in my old neighborhood, and community cookouts, which it comes from the people when they shop in my store. I use that money, but I do post it on my Facebook page. When people, I tell people, don't give me the money, just bring the stuff up here or bring it to the location. So yeah, I know we don't have time, but right on my wall.
We got all the time.
Huh?
We got time.
So would you like to walk over there and see some pictures?
Let's go.
Okay, let me see. I can't turn the camera around, but right here, let me see. Maybe what you guys can see. So this is me. So this is somebody coming in. So I just don't help like colored brown people. I want to help anybody, whether you white, black, you know, male, female. So this is the school. This is a school giveaway here. And here is the Christmas giveaway. So we did a Christmas giveaway here in my neighborhood, church bus. All the kids come off, and that's me with my tables. So just giving away Christmas giveaway. So that I kind of work with that. And like I said, what I do is what the money I'm making here, I'll partner with somebody and we'll just start buying school supplies and Christmas gifts and wrap them up, which would be my assistant or my first school supply giveaway with a guy I knew. So we did like 3 different places, the Old Boys Club, City View, and the Grove. And Christmas, I just did the Grove, and the community cookout did the Grove. That's where I grew up at.
Nice.
To whom much is given, much is required. So thank you, Mr. John, for that. And thank you all for being here on Zoom In on a Fresh Conversation. And tonight I want to tell you that your background is not a reflection of your foreground. Stop looking back. Good night, everybody. Indeed. And thank you so much. And John, we'll talk real soon.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.